President Obama is still looking for a legal way to block $165 million in bonus payments for AIG executives. The insurance giant paid the bonuses using some of the bailout money it received from the government, a move that set off a public outcry and a bipartisan backlash from politicians. Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner claims he just found out about the bonuses last week, but there's speculation that he may have known earlier.
And I'm going to start off just by talking about these AIG bonuses you've been hearing about. Now, I know a lot of you are outraged about this. Rightfully so, I'm outraged too. It's hard to understand that a company that's relying on extraordinary assistance from taxpayers to keep its doors open would be paying anybody lavish bonuses. It goes against our most basic sense of what's fair and what's right. It offends our values. So we're going to do everything we can to deal with these specific bonuses. And I know Washington's all in a tizzy and everybody's pointing fingers at each other and saying it's their fault, the Democrats' fault, the Republicans' fault. Listen, I'll take responsibility. I'm the president. It is appropriate when you're in charge to make sure that stuff doesn't happen like this. So we're going to do everything we can to fix it.
Congress missed a big opportunity to stop those AIG bonuses. In fact, a certain protection was constructed and signed into law. The big mystery in Washington today was who was responsible for adding that language.
That's right, Brett. Someone inserted language in this year's $787 billion stimulus bill that actually protected bonuses at AIG and other companies that are getting federal bailout money. And one senator says that language was forced on Congress by the administration. Senator Dodd says after lawmakers of both parties got together to iron out differences between the House and Senate, his language got changed and the bonus protection got added.
I can tell you this much. When my language left the Senate, it did not include it. When it came back, it did.
So who put in the language that protected bonuses? Several lawmakers say that happened before the bipartisan conference committee in a smaller meeting with Democratic leaders Senator Harry Reid and Speaker Nancy Pelosi, among others, along with Rahm Emanuel from the White House. So the stimulus bill the president signed actually protected the bonuses he and others now rail against and dropped a provision to discourage them. Senator Wyden says Treasury Secretary Geithner and White House economic advisor Larry Summers fought to remove the tax on bonuses, and Senator Dodd now says the administration forced that change in the language that ended up protecting bonuses. So you now have Democrats clearly blaming the administration for protecting bonuses. Another provision punishing bonuses got dropped, a bipartisan proposal from two senators, Democrat Ron Wyden and Republican Olympia Snowe, who wanted to impose an additional 35% tax on any bonuses over $10,000 on top of regular taxes.
I'm really surprised by, all of the outrage that's being expressed today, when in fact we could have done something about it to prevent this kind of situation.
You received $100,000 from AIG during
I can't hear you.
You received $100,000 from AIG during the campaign. How do you feel about those contributions today? Do you plan to do anything about it? And at least one member of Congress has now called for your Secretary of the Treasury to resign. Your thoughts?
I have complete confidence in Tim Geithner and my entire economic team. Understand, as I said before, Tim Geithner didn't draft these contracts with AIG.
AIG has guards outside its headquarters in Connecticut this morning. That's how offended people are by the idea that a failing company bailed out by us is getting $165 million in bonuses paid for by taxpayers. On the other hand, the real problem here is for the Obama administration. AIG is getting another $30 billion, as you know. That money was approved by the administration earlier this month. At that point, the administration knew about these bonuses and didn't do anything about it. But the outrage ought to be directed at the federal bailout itself. I mean, the only reason we're interested in this at all is because it can be construed as our money, because you have a massive infusion of taxpayer dollars into AIG coffers. And that's why we have an interest in this. So all of this outrage is an argument for why you don't get involved in the machinations of the private sector in the first place, why there is a moral cost to bailing out private sector industry.